some really remarkable musicians. I'm looking here at your list, and it's funny when I listen to your playing. Every one of these individuals, I can hear an element of.
Wow.
You know,
Thank you. That's great.
yeah. I mean, you mentioned even meeting BB King. I mean, there's that blues element in some, especially when I hear the Iron City stuff. Um, and then you've had some experience with Dave Holland, I guess, right?
I did. I wrote like 6 tunes that we played in upstate New York. Uh, it was all. He's great. He's good. Great guy to play with. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, and then you think about the connection to him with Miles, especially around the time of the music.
Yeah, he signed my uncle's copy of Bitches Brew for me.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Pat Martino told me, don't do anything. Pat was very concerned with me being a band leader, and he said he never wanted to be a sideman. He only ever wanted to be a leader, even when he was a kid, playing as a virtuoso with these older great musicians. He said he got something else out of that, but it was never his goal. His goal was always to make his own records as a band leader. And he said, do not treat this like a craft. It's not a craft. It's only art.
Sure. I mean, and he's, I mean, who more? Well, that's such an authoritative statement, and the people who you've studied with and the people you've mentioned as influences and stuff, it sounds like, they all did have a very specific, and I don't want to say it wasn't narrow, but a specific stylistic element, a specific path, a definitive way of how they wanted to present their music, like a Jimi Hendrix was definitive in the way he played, and Miles Davis certainly, of course, a lot of these guys had to function as sidemen, probably, which is part of the thing. But Yusef Lateef, a Pat Martino, and Archie Shepp. I mean, Dave Holland, William Park. They all have. When you think those names,
Yeah.
You just think of them as artists.
Right. But the thing that's important about all these people that I recently kind of put it in these terms is that they're all great storytellers.
Fair, yeah.
Pat Martino, if you would go to see Pat Martino at Blue Note, it was the Pat Martino story. Yusef Lateef, it was always the Yusef Lateef story. It's the Jimi Hendrix story.
Right.
And these are experiences that are larger than life. These people were so, they had such a huge bandwidth of energy and life around them, right? That it wasn't even about, like music was only the best thing that they could use to get this message across. It's just so much bigger all the time. Everything is always bigger. It's always bigger stories and bigger personalities, and that's what's interesting to me. I don't like guitar players. It's not interesting to me. That's why I turn myself down a lot on my records. I want to hear the people I'm paying, X $100 each to be there. I want to hear them.
Sure,
I listen to myself hours a day. So, and I love the way I play and everything, but it's not, it's not interesting to me on a record to hear a guitar all the time. It's just not. I'm not interested in that. So I'm not really interested in people who just make records of them soloing over their own tunes that kind of sound like Hard Bop or.
Right, which has been done a million times, right?
And most people just do the same thing over and over again. Right. So the business side of it is incredibly stimulating for me. I love it. And
wow.
I need to go to a studio. I have 10 hours worth of lessons I took privately with Pat Martino. In those lessons, he's always talking about, I'm a businessman. Be a businessman. Charlie, you're a good businessman. This is what you need to do to maintain your integrity. This is how you become, how you maintain your artistry as a businessman. Right. So Pat was singularly focused on the business aspect of it too. But what I learned is that it's very fulfilling. It's very stimulating to be good at the business side of it.
No, I understand. Yeah, but it's interesting, even with your own personal stuff, though. You're very definitive in, this is the way I present my music. I don't like rock and roll, so I'm not going to do it.
to me, it's easier to just do it the way that it's easier for me to just do it the way that I think I should be doing it than it is to try to keep somebody else happy when it's not even going to get me enough money anyway.
Right. Being that you came to the guitar later in life, you didn't do the traditional guitar lesson type thing like at a music school, like what I do every single day, teaching kids songs that I think they should know, or here's a Led Zeppelin lick, you might dig this. Here's the it really kind of, it seems to almost have shaped you into a certain.
I don't like that, so I never did that, and I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
love Led